Bolu. My name is Bolu Atife, but you can call me Bolu Atife, whichever one works for you. I'm a business analyst, mentor. Okay, sorry, my system was misbehaving for a minute. So I'm a digital business analyst currently. Also a product owner, certified product owner. Sometimes I play with product design. I'm a product designer sometimes. I play. And then I create content for tech newbies on Instagram. So tonight I'll just be talking us through who is a BA, what does it entail, and yeah, through the next few slides. So who is a business analyst? General definition, a business analyst is a person who processes, interprets, and documents business processes, product services, and software through analysis of data. What does all this jargon mean in simple terms is just that you are somebody that does process improvement. So when a BA is employed into an organization, what are they looking for? They are looking for somebody that is going to improve their current process or introduce a new process. At the end of the day, it centers around process improvement. So everything we do as business analysts is rooted in improving the processes of any organization we find ourselves. So why do they want to employ us? They want to employ us because they want efficiency. They want somebody that can be a bridge between the development team, the business stakeholders, somebody that can speak both languages. So um the business stakeholder will tell you in plain English, this is what I want. And then you have to translate that into what the development team can understand. You don't necessarily have to write codes, but there's a way you write acceptance criteria and user stories that will make the development team understand what the business wants, what the goal of the business is. So basically, you are carrying somebody's vision and saying that, okay, I get your vision and I need to interpret it to people that will carry out this vision. So it doesn't necessarily have to be IT. Of course, it's a tech field, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in maybe software development. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily have to be software development. You can work anywhere as a business analyst. You are needed everywhere. You can work in the hospital. You can work anywhere. You can work in construction. I mean, in construction is even very exciting because you are seeing the vision from the start and then you are translating it to every single team that is going to work. So everywhere is spread across everywhere. There's no limitation to where you can work as a business analyst. So who should be a business analyst? The truth is anyone can become a business analyst, anybody at all. It's just about um deciding to learn, deciding to put your passion into it, deciding to say, okay, can try this out. And it doesn't matter if you're an introvert, extrovert, ambivert, anyone that you are, you fit into becoming a business analyst because by the way you do it on your daily basis, you do it on your daily life without even knowing that this is what I do because there is no label to it yet. So in the next few slides, I'm just going to show you some of the core of what it entails to be a business analyst. So the question, I would just like some questions. If you enjoy writing, not like, do you enjoy writing? If you enjoy writing, then this is for you. This is your gig. This is something that you really, really enjoy. Because there's a lot of writing as a business analyst. Like I said in the beginning, you are translating somebody's vision and ensuring that other people get it and they can bring it to life. So that entails writing. Do you enjoy problem solving? At the center of our job is solving a problem. You have to solve a problem because that's why they employed you in the first place. There is a problem on ground they don't like whatever process they are using, or they want to improve the process that they are using, hence the need for you to come in. Do you love to communicate in clear terms? Like, communication is key, because imagine you being a bridge between two people. Like, so business stakeholders, they can be many. And then the development team will consist of the developer, the software tester, yourself, the product owner, and all of the scrum master. All of this form the development team. And you have to communicate to them in clear terms and say, oh, this is what the business stakeholder wants, and this is what we need to deliver at the end of the day. So if anything gets lost in translation, it's coming back to you. So you need to be able to communicate in very clear terms, very simple terms, whereby everybody can understand, which means that you might have to go back and check with people and say, is this really what you said? Oh, do you want this? Is this how you want it? And I mean, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of moving parts. Then can you negotiate your way out of issues? Because issues will come up. As a business analyst, you have to know how to negotiate your issues. Sometimes you work with stakeholders that will be they are not mean, and they are not I don't always like to say stakeholders are difficult, but it's just really navigating their personality and understanding how they work. So you might need to negotiate. For instance, you are in the middle of go live, or the stakeholder isn't moving the go live date, and you are seeing that there are still some issues that needs to be resolved before you guys go live. What do you do? How do you tell the stakeholder that we need some time without looking like you don't know your job? So these are some of the skills that you'll be learning, you will need to understand um as a business analyst. Okay, my slides. All right. Also, you have to be creative and innovative, because there's a lot of creative process. Yeah, I'll keep saying it. You are carrying somebody's vision. So how do you bring it to life? You have to be creative. You have to innovate. You have to think, okay, how can we do this better? Oh, this is what this person has said. How can I make it better? How can I make it nicer? Okay, I know that this is the vision. Sometimes stakeholders don't really they know the end goal, but they don't really know how to articulate it to you. So that's where your creativity comes in. You put together a mock-up and say, okay, I think this is what you would like to see. And then they can say yes, no, or make adjustments here. So it's very important. Like, sometimes you have to nudge them and say, oh, I think this is what you're talking about. And that, I mean, you will learn that you know how to do mock-ups and all of those. And it's very, very interesting. So you are not afraid to carry out research. Once you get on a project, you want to understand, what's this project about? What are we supposed to do? What's the vision of this project? How do we accomplish it? Are there projects that have been done before on this? And so there'll be a lot of researching for you. Also, you have to understand or investigate the root cause of the problem, because without knowing the root cause, how then do you want to come up with the solution? So you need to understand, where did this problem come from and how are we going to resolve it? And then you are not afraid of change, because your entire job is around change, and change can be very difficult. So you need to know how to communicate change to people without making them feel threatened or making them feel some type of way. It's very dicey, but it's something that you will do. Like I said, negotiation skills. So you're not afraid of change, because it's not easy to to go through change. Almost every one of us has resisted change at some point in our life. But yeah, change is part of life. So we just really have to go through it. So some of the tools that you'll be exposed to on this journey balsamic. Balsamic is one of the tools we use to create wireframes, which we use to present mock-ups to stakeholders. Visio is one of the tools we use in creating, excuse me, in creating process maps, because like I said, our job is around process improvement. So we create process map and show expose, I mean, we tell the stakeholders that we are dealing with and show them, oh, this is the journey, this is how this journey will be from start to finish. Miro, there are a lot of things on Miro that can make our life easy. So you can use it for brainstorming sessions. There are so many templates on Miro, same with Mural. So many templates that you can easily use and pick and just use it to um, present things back to stakeholders. Figma, Figma is a design tool, but has a lot of features on it, a lot of templates that are very exciting. Like I said, you have to be creative. So Figma gives you that opportunity to create so many beautiful things that you can play back to your stakeholders and they'll be amazed. Azure DevOps is a project management tool which during the course of the internship you'll be taught how to use it. This is where you put your epic features, your product backlog items, and breaking down your requirements. And the same with Jira and several collaborative tools, as Moji explained yesterday. Also, what's your gain at the end of the internship? You'll be gaining requirement engineering. So when we say requirement engineering, we're talking about gathering requirements, interpretation of requirements. So in this world, in the BA world, when I say, oh, somebody, you are carrying somebody's vision, so it starts from, we call it eliciting requirements. So you elicit requirements, and then when you elicit the requirements, you have to interpret that requirement to the development team. So um, in a nutshell, requirement engineering covers that. Also, you'll be knowing the different elicitation technique because there are several elicitation technique, and it helps you because you understand the stakeholder you're working with. Not every elicitation technique can work with all the stakeholders. So you need to be creative. Yeah. So we really cannot get the creative part, or you can't drop being creative as a business analyst because you are thinking, sometimes you have to think on your feet and say, okay, this elicitation technique will work better with this set of stakeholders, and this one will work better with this set of stakeholders. And when we get into the training, you will understand why. So process improvement, you will know how to make a process better by understanding the ASIS and the to be. These are buzzwords that I'm throwing, but in the course of the internship, you really understand because we will not leave you hanging. Report generation, our life really as BAs, we generate reports, a lot of reports, because we need to show stakeholders what it is we're doing. Sometimes end of project reports needs to be generated, or we need to create user guide, release notes. All of these are reports that we are supposed to create. Uh, Sometimes at the end of the project, sometimes in the middle of the project. Another one I forgot to mention is documentation. Because we document a lot, we have to do a lot of documentation. Sometimes, if you find yourself in a agile environment, that's a waterfall and agile environment. In agile, is really document light, which is what we practice here. Is a very document light environment here. However, in a agile environment, you have to do a lot of documentation. So there'll be that exposure. Also user acceptance testing, which is something that you might have to facilitate or you might have to do it as a business analyst. It depends on the organization where you find yourself. So, or the kind of project you're doing. If you're working with external stakeholders, you have to do user acceptance testing yourself, and then before the project, I mean the products get released to the live environment. All of these you understand as we go along. Facilitation of BAU, business as usual. So when a project is done, um, it is the job of a business analyst to onboard users because you understand that project, you've worked on it, and you're the person that is closest to the stakeholders because you've been in communication with them. So you be the one facilitating BAU, and BAU involves onboarding, ensuring that if the system breaks, it can easily be fixed. There's the communication line open. There's also like ensuring that everybody is comfortable. If it's a new system or is a process improvement, every user is comfortable on that system. So trainings and all of those, you are the one that will facilitate it, maybe speaking to the trainer in your organization to say, oh, we need to get this user onboarded. Sometimes you need to get them onboarded to the environment. You need to also have their user guides ready. You need to um, open maybe like a Teams channel for them to drop their issues. You need to sometimes triage whatever they call bugs, because sometimes it's not bugs, it's sometimes training needs or training gap. So you need to identify all of those things. This is what happens with BAU. Then stakeholder identification. Yeah, you'll be learning about stakeholder, how to identify your stakeholders because it's important. Without identifying your stakeholders, you won't know who to speak to or who is the right person to talk to, the right stakeholder to talk to, because um you might not be talking to the right person, and that's a waste of time. And yeah, you're sometimes working on a tight schedule. Then managing stakeholders' expectation, because stakeholders can have really amazing expectations, and then you need to really learn how to manage it. And most importantly, you learn professionalism, because this is a workspace and you'll be seeing how to work with other people and see how to work in a development team and how you are supposed to be in as a business analyst in a development team. Okay, yeah, so this is the interesting part. Based on this research, you can earn as much as 49K mid-level, and even way higher, because this I just took the screenshots. Like people earn as high as 100,000 and people earn as low as 20,000 or 27K. It depends on what you want. It depends on your negotiating skill. It depends on your negotiating power. It depends on your years of experience. So as you can see, based on this, they said beginners earn 34K, which is not bad, 34,500, and advanced end as high as 58, which is more. Like I've seen salary ranges of 100K advertised for business analyst roles. So yeah, so basically, yeah, that's it from me. Any questions or
Okay, no, before the questions, we're going to go for the journey, yeah?
okay.
So, but really, guys, thank you so much, Bolu, for this session. This was fantastic, I must say. And to you guys, Bolu has plans for you guys. Well, like, do you know how many buzzwords we called for them this night? How do you want them to chew everything? So, on your behalf, I'm playing good cop tonight. Please go back and watch the video so that you can grab as much as she explained and touched on. But don't worry yourself too much. As the internship is progressing, you'll be understanding some of these words. It will be a part and parcel of you. You even practice using it on your own, so you know the right time to use it and all that. Yeah. So don't worry too much about that. So for the journey part of it, I'm just going to invite one of our colleagues here. So she's just going to tell us her journey through Blue Sky, just 5 minutes, and then we'll go to the question and answers. So please, if you have questions and anything, feel free to note your questions down so that you don't forget. Um, are you here, Nike?
Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone.
Hi, Nike.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so first off, my name is Nike Williams. I'm a business change analyst. I think I've been working for just about a year now. Before I go into my journey here in BlueSky, I would give you a bit of a background on myself. So when I came into the UK, I think about 12 years ago now, I started working as a childminder. I did that for a couple of years. Then I joined the healthcare industry, and I was a carer for about, I think, roughly 8-9 years before I decided that I needed a change. I was just tired of, the whole stress of shift work and all that. And then I told myself that what would I like to do? I just knew that IT was something a lot of people were into at the moment. And I said, okay, you know what? I want to go into IT. I didn't know what aspect of IT I wanted to work in. I just knew I wanted to go into IT. And I spoke to, one of my friends who was a former secondary school mate and said, oh, this is what I wanted to do. And then suddenly one day she just called me up and said, oh, Nikki, there's this training school I attended. It's called BlueSky. Would you like me to put you forward? What would you like to do? I said, I don't know. She said, you know what? If you know you want to get a job in like 3 months, I would recommend going to BlueSky and taking up an internship with them as a business analyst. And I said, okay, yes, why not? And that was how I came to join BlueSky in January, I think 2022. That was last year. Yeah, January 2022. So I did the internship January, February, March. I think we finished around March, April 2022. And then, I joined the advanced platform sometime in June as well. And I got my role in July and I started working September. Whilst, through that journey, the internship and all that, I had a lot of people supporting me. One of them was Bolu. I always call her boss. Yeah, I would bring my troubles, my worries, everything from, things concerning my role as a BA to other things, not even relating to BA. And she would always be there to, give me advice, support me and all that. Even during the internship, I was working, I was on permanent nights then. And I would always try, even if I'm at work, to see that I join my classes, if there were classes, and, join my team ceremonies, my scrum ceremonies and all that. I sort of decided that I wanted that change. And I was ready to give my all in all to, achieving what I wanted to achieve. So I trusted in the process, followed that process, and yeah, I would say that I really got the results from trusting in that process. So yeah, that's my journey as a BA here in BlueSky, and you can see I'm still there even after a year after getting my role. So yeah, it's been nice.
Thank you so much, Nikki. That was fantastic. Really, really, really. I like that. So you see, the truth is, guys, the reason we try to yeah, I know we see your clap. Thank you. So you see, the reason we try to call people that have passed through this journey, and I usually don't call anybody here giving you testimonies. They are all within 1 year journey. Like I will not call somebody from 2020, or 2018 guys to come give you testimony. I'll hardly do that. It's either guys from 2023 or 2022 that will call for you guys because you can resonate with them. It's more recent. You can understand. They were within this period of time when they were able to ace their roles. Yeah. So, and I can, in my mind, as Nika was talking, I was like, I'm sure up to half of you can relate with that story of saying you are working shift, because at some point during the course of this internship, just take it. When they say 20 people cannot start something and finish it at together, that is what's going to happen with this internship. But try and be part of the people that will finish it. Yeah. Because it gets to a time you say, you know what, let me just face my work. It's kind of difficult, juggling work, joining the program, yada, yada, yada. It gets very discouraging, but you have to find a way to encourage yourself. And this is where I also call up Scrum Masters. If you have people like that in your team, quickly throw it up, try and reach out to them and encourage them. People need encouragement on this program. People need that support. That's why we also do support calls for you guys. If you have issues, if you're getting tired, just tell us. We'll try and just encourage you so that you can just get to that finish line. Some of you, as you are right now, I can assure you a lot of you are pumped. you're pumped right now, small thing, I'll finish it. When you are in half of the internship, your mind will change, like, I'm tired, because there's a lot you're going to be receiving and everything. See what Nike said now. She was permanent night shift. Right now, I can assure you Nike would have been on a shift this time last year if she was, not she had not gotten the role, for example, let's say at this time last year, she had gotten the role at this time last year. So let's say she had not gotten the role at this time last year, she must have just probably used her AirPods to be trying to listen to whatever we're saying, So see, when it comes to this internship, something must give. That's why we try to call people to tell you they are not buttering you up, they are not, BlueSky is not paying her or anything to come here. It becomes a community afterwards. Even you, by the time you get your role, you don't want to leave because you want to continue being in a community where they'll be charging your brain, charging your mind. Like if Nika is on a call in advance, for example, she's telling us what's going on in our company. I'm telling you guys what's going on in my office. Not, of course, not the rudiments of saying, but at least the main learning salient points, that people use it to encourage each other and use to boost knowledge, because you can be doing things in A way, in another company you're doing it in B way, all those kind of things. I'm just trying to say in general, you have to find a way to push yourself, encourage yourself, reach out. You heard Niketu, she said she reaches out to Bolu if she needs this, if she needs that. And not only Bolu is not the only BA intern, so that people don't kill Bolu for me. Bolu, you see, I'm trying for you, I'm trying so that they will not kill you in advance. So you can reach out to Nike. You can reach out. There are a lot of them. Janet, you get to see them on your screen. I see your laugh. So you get to meet them. You see your role mentor on the sheets that Bolu shared to you, where you had your list of names. If you look below, you see your mentors. This should be your go-to person. If you have any issue, any clarification, feel free. BlueSky is very open space. The only problem we have sometimes, this is not about BlueSky, this is me observing as a separate person, right? Is some people don't reach out. Some people will just fizzle out or disappear or just be coming and going, but they are not grabbing as much as they can. No, there's a joke I make about go and borrow straw or hose, put it on your mentor's body and be sucking their blood. Yeah, be grabbing their brain as much as you can, because this thing is something must give. Is a do or do. We don't want to die in the matter, but it's a do or do. So this is all just to encourage you guys to know that you are here for a reason. You need to push yourself. You need to try and grab as much as you can. Look left and right while you are looking straight. So for a QA that is on this call right now, make sure you are looking left and right, and then you're looking straight. The left and right, I mean, is as a QA, you are hearing what a BA should do, elicit requirement, do this one, do that, and the good part, and your other left, you might be listening to what they said the Scrum Master does, or a DA or an APM does, whereas as a QA, you're still facing forward, following your QA path. I'm not saying they will call for a meeting now, then you leave QA meeting and say you want to come and sit down in BA meeting. Even me, I'll flog you and send you back to where you're supposed to be, So let's just try and be purposeful. That's the reason for all this talk. Let's be purposeful. So thank you. Now we'll go to the Q&A side. You see, I told you guys that we'll not stay too long tonight. Yeah. So we'll now go to the Q&A session. Anything we've said tonight, anything Nike has told you guys tonight, anything Bolu has told you guys tonight, you can go back, listen to the recording, and just absorb as much as you can. In between, say for example, the way Bolu explained the Wagile, she just explained it very fair, just a touch and everything. If you don't have a clear understanding of it, go back. Yeah, you go back to the recording or ask any of your mentors. Okay, what does Wagile really mean? Okay, and she mentioned, okay, it's waterfall, it's agile combination, when you just combine two names together and all that. Okay, what does it really mean? You can ask your mentors. You can ask, don't just say, okay, okay, I get the very meaning. Or even if you don't want to ask your mentor, I've told you people, Google is your friend too. Ask Google. Google is very nice though. Google is my favorite person. Ask Google and it will try and explain one or two things to you. So guys, please, you have to be purposeful. You have to be intentional to be able to succeed on this platform. Yeah. Okay, last part is the Q&A. So any questions, please feel free to raise your hands. Bolu, this is your show again. QA, I say QA, Q&A. Okay, ChatGPT, who is this one? Bolu, you want to give them, no, don't teach them bad thing. Now, that's even if they are not gurus in ChatGPT already. Okay, so we'll take Ibukun first. Hi, Ibukun.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Yeah,
Shoot.
all right. Thank you. So thank you for the session, Bolu. I want to appreciate you. I just want to ask a question. Is there any relationship between learning maybe Microsoft Excel as is there a relationship within Microsoft Excel and business analysis? Because when you were giving your presentation, I'm not sure it's part of the tools you mentioned. So.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. Is a very interesting one. To be fair, it depends on where you are going, but yeah, you can use it for documentation, Excel, because when you get your initial requirements, for instance, you've gathered your initial requirements, you can write it out and then present it back to your stakeholders for sign off. It makes your life really, really easy if you document it in Excel rather than Word. And then and also for your own purpose, you can easily break down your requirements using Moscow as another buzzword, but this is something that you'll be taught. So Moscow, the full meaning of Moscow is must have, should have, could have, and won't have. So it's a prioritization, is a way we prioritize requirements in the BA world. So yeah, you can use Excel, but not the way a data analyst will use Excel. Yeah, but
All
it's a
right, I
good
get.
knowledge to have. Yeah.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much, Bolu. Just to add, for this your session, this will be the first time we're making it like a general course for everyone. Before, we usually just streamline Excel to the DAs, but everybody's going to be learning Excel this session, so that's this cohort rather, so that everybody will have a clearer understanding of how to use it. The truth is, you cannot know when you just need Excel. It's just part of the Microsoft tools that you have to just have handy at any time. You can always use it for anything. Yeah, but it might not be your main tool, like Bolu said. It's more of a DA's one of their main tools. Yeah, but at least it's very good to have it handy. Okay, so I can even give an example just today. So in my place of work, tomorrow is like our BRP, that's our PI planning. So we have it for the next 2 days, tomorrow and next. So some scrum masters reached out. I'm also a scrum master. That okay, they were trying to do a change in their capacity table, and they're finding it difficult to do some um, um, summation and co on Excel, and somebody referred them to me, so I just took them through and all that. I'm a scrum master, I'm not a DA, and it's not like I can use all the VLOOKUPs in the world, but the little ones here and here, the equal to, sum, average, this one, we'll find a way, drag it here, move it here. You have to just have that holistic view of a lot of things, just little here and here to help you. You can imagine them asking me in front of the whole world, and I'm not able to help. Sometimes, yeah, it might not be your field, but it can be slightly embarrassing sometimes when people were really looking up to you that, oh, this person will know it, and then you just fall your hand, you don't know it. This thing happened like 7 p.m. Yeah, normally we close 4 o'clock, we are finished, but because of the BRP, people were still on the call till like 7. So the lady just reached out and helped, and I helped her out. So I'm just trying to say all those things are very important for you to know and be able to use them. Yeah, so please make sure you join all the Excel classes, so you grab what you can to apply when you start working. Yeah, so we'll go to the next person. Jenny, hi.
Hello, Olaomi, thank you, and Bolu, thanks for an excellent summary of what we should expect as a business analyst. My question is in terms of what is currently going around, that business analysis is moving towards an agile framework in terms of moving away from the traditional BA, and that people should be more focused on agile analysis right now. I don't know how that plays into what we are going to be trained for. And just like it's now important to be agile in terms of project management, are we seeing the same trend happening in business analysis? And is that going to be covered in this training and internship? Thank you.
All right, thanks, Gemma. Thanks for your question. So in BlueSky, we mostly use agile methodology. We hardly use waterfall because, of course, like you said, waterfall is fizzling out, but not totally, because most organizations now use both. Because some organizations like the documentation aspect of waterfall, but they like the flexibility that Scrum brings. Scrum is under Agile. I mean, I'm not a Scrum master, but yeah, like one of the Agile methodologies. So, yes, our project majorly focuses on Agile projects, whereby we use Scrum and is iterative. So, and many projects is easier to, especially when it's software development, it's easier to build iteratively because you can play back to your clients, can get feedback really quickly, and then go back to development. So it's a really beautiful cycle and very quick for you to get feedback. So definitely we don't use waterfall here, although you might be exposed to the documentation aspect so that there is balance. If we go out there and you find yourself in an organization, it's rare that an organization these days uses waterfall only. It's very rare. What you find out there is that most companies are following Agile. So they'll say they are agile, but they are Agile because they really want you to produce documentation. In Agile, is really document light. Once you have put your user stories and acceptance criteria and some other documentation, very light. Yeah, those are termed as documentation based on your wiki page and all of those. So everything is in a place, is more automated kind of thing rather than in waterfall that is heavy on documents and all of that. So yeah, simple answer to your question is yeah, you'll be using agile a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And I just wanted to add that when you see your role as business analyst, there are different names they call business analysts now. You hear product analyst, operational analyst, different things. We're still saying the same thing. So just be open-minded. A lot of companies are really, really, really going into agile. So and that's why that recruitment phase is much. So that's why you should tap into yours now before it gets more and more saturated. So yeah, that's that. Rose, I know you have a question for Nike. Do you want to shoot quickly? 30 seconds. Nike, don't go anywhere. Rose, quick. If you're
Hi,
speaking, we
everyone.
can't hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that MBA exposition. My question is for Nike. I was really happy with the journey she shared. So, like when you finish the internship, we feel like we're very new and we feel like we're not ready for the workplace. Like you have this fear at the back of your mind. So I just wanted to know from Nike, what kind of challenges did you face when you first started? I know you didn't have 100% confidence, and how did you like overcome it? What kind of things did you experience or see? Thank you. Yeah, so I don't think I caught the beginning of your question, but I caught the end of it. So let me see. Challenges I faced when I first joined. So let me see. So some of the challenges I faced, is I would say confidence. When you are number one, there is this thing about joining a new work environment that's one issue on one side. And then knowing that, yes, you've got the experience from your internship, but knowing that you're coming to that place with internship experience, and it's not even because where I work, okay, I work in the healthcare industry as a business change analyst. Our training in BlueSky is, software based, the SDLT and all that. So going there and having to start reviewing their processes, improving their processes and things like that. It was a bit of like, would I say, a 180 degrees change for me. So that was one of the challenges, actually saying I've done this and all those things I've said I've done, being able to actually showcase it there. Another thing was my manager, my current manager now, she was one of those people who interviewed me. And when you're going for interview, you've prepared yourself for your interview and everything, and they start asking you these questions. Some of them are questions you're not even prepared for, and you answer these questions. Sometimes after the interview, you don't even remember your response. And for some very, very funny reason, my manager remembered everything I said during the interview. And then she'll be giving me tasks and saying, do this. Just like you said, you've done it during your interview. And in my head, I'm like, sugar, I've said I can do this, I've said I can do that, and now they are actually expecting me to do it. But the thing there is that there is nothing wrong in asking questions sometimes, because like I think Bolu or Laumi that mentioned it, that no two workplaces are the same. Even if they both say they are practicing Agile or Wagile or Waterfall, it would not be the same. So if you can just try to be confident and ask questions, not asking questions like, oh, how do I map my processes? How do you want me to map? No, not questions like that, but questions about their own procedures. And it might look, it might look stupid to you when you want to ask those questions. Like you might be feeling sort of inferior because you know where you're coming from, that it's not really, that you don't have that 4 years or 5 years experience that you've said you have. But honestly, there is nothing wrong in asking questions. Even till today at work, sometimes I feel like, have I done enough? Or am I doing enough? Or, am I meeting up with expectations and all that? And I get some people who would say, they will tell me, oh, Nike, you know what? I like what you just said during that meeting. I like the way, the way you nailed that issue on the head and all that. And it gives me that confidence to say, oh, so I'm actually doing something right. So, like I said, for me, when I started, it was that confidence and knowing that no matter what it is, I can always go back to hacks, go back to BlueSky themselves, go back to my mentors during my internship to say, okay, this is what I'm facing at work. This is the questions I've been asked. And then they're able to guide me, and I use that knowledge to work. And even at work, being able to actually tell my manager that, oh, when she says do this, okay, how do you want me to do it? Is there a certain way you would like it? The way I would even frame the question. I will not say frame it like, how is it done? How do you want me? How would you like me to do it? So that it will be like, oh, I know how to do it, but I want to do it in the way she wants me to do it. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much for that response, Nike. And just to add, you see, in BlueSky, what we try to do is just give you a robust, holistic view and everything about what you should know as regards your role. So anywhere you find yourself, you can fit in. So yeah, I mentioned it earlier so that everything we're doing is different. I bring ideas from where I'm working, somebody else brings. So Nike now just told you she's working on that NHS, something. Yeah. For me, I work in an engineering company. Can you correlate software that we're doing now to engineering? But the way, if you tap into it, it's not everybody that will tap into it. That I always like to say that if you tap into your own progress, your own personal journey, and you grab what you need to grab, trust me, you'll be filled enough, to be able to go out there and fit into any role as regards, any industry as regards your role. That's what we try to pursue in BlueSky, and that's why we like to also do these general calls so everybody has an idea what is going on. It's not like, oh, it's only BAs that know this thing, or it's only SMs that know those things. Like, for example, I remember when Bolu was taking you guys through now, she told you you're going to be using Figma to do some beautiful whatever. When it's time, everybody is going to do their persona on Figma. They are going to do their, this thing on Figma. Anything, we'll try and show you some of those other little tools from intercross that you can use. The only people that are solo, let me just tell you in advance now, QA, you can never have any cost to use their tools. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know, I've mentioned that we can use DAs to Excel, we can use BS to Figma, like that. But QA, which one do I want to start with? The Visual Studio, which one is it? No. So okay, let's just try and speed up. I'm talking too much. Okay, Farouk shoots. Rose, you can put your hands down. Oh, hold on, Farouk. Bolu, you want to go?
Yeah, I just really wanted to add to what Nike said because our journey is quite interesting and I'm lucky to have witnessed it. I just wanted to say that the only major thing you will deal with in any of your role as a newbie is imposter syndrome. However, regardless of the imposter syndrome, you show up every day. As long as you don't stop showing up, you're going to survive the workplace. So the thing is, you will stay a lot in your head when you first start. You feel like I don't fit in. Oh, I feel like a fraud because I just did internship. But here's the deal. Everything that you've been taught in the internship is what actually applies in the real world. Yes, it might not be exactly the same because nobody can teach you exactly what your project is. I work in insurance company. Nika works in health industry. Um, Allow me is working in engineering. So all of us don't have exactly the same process, but we have the same knowledge of how to tackle our different roles. So this internship gives you the basics that you need to survive in the real world. So there is no difference. Like I do daily stand up at work. I do everything that I learned in the internship at work. Like, yeah, everything that you guys will be learning, you will learn it. Of course, there'll be a lot of learning along the way for you. There'll always be improvement because this is the tech space. It keeps changing. But the major challenge you have to deal with is the thought in your head. You have to deal with what is in your head. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Like once you've gotten the experience here, because this is a job, this is a work placement. First things first, don't see this as a training platform. If you see it as a work placement, that's the attitude you will use in going out there. And that's the way you put yourself forward to recruiters and say, okay, I have experience because you gain experience here. You are going to work on life projects here and you're going to produce something at the end of the internship. So if you come into this internship with the mindset of I'm working, today is my first day of employment. They are taking me to through trainings of what I need to know, then that's the attitude you will carry out there, and then you'll be able to go through it regardless of imposter syndrome. And the truth is, it doesn't go away. Even people that have been in the game for 20 years, when they get a new role, they have imposter syndrome. I feel like, do I belong here? So you just have to deal with it like every single day as you continue in your journey. Thank you.
Yay, thank you so much for that. Very, I hope you guys picked as much as, anyways, I'll share this video. Thank you for that, Bolu. Rose, do you want to put your hands down or let me help you? Okay, Farouk, shoot now.
I think there are two roses. One is, oh,
Oh,
I think it's the second one that is raising the hand. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I know there are two roses now I've seen, but I think it's the same rose Abere. It's fine. Farouk,
Okay, can I go on? All right then.
yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Laomi, for facilitating, and Bolo and Nike for the very precious gems you've shared this evening. I think my first question will be to Laomi. These introductory sessions we're having, I think maybe not just for me, but maybe for many of us, they're like eye-openers to what these different, should I say,
Rose.
roles, what they really entail, and also the type of personalities or skills that each role attracts from an individual. So my first question would be to you, Laomi. After this whole introductory sessions, is it possible that maybe some of us that felt that ideally we should have come in for a particular role and probably registered for that role, but at the end of these 4 or 5 days of introductory sessions, we find out that maybe our personalities may be better suited to another role? Is it still possible at the end of the week to maybe opt for that role, or is it that things are stuck with the way we've registered as at now?
This question, okay.
All right,
Sure.
and then I'd have other question for Bolu also.
Okay, let's take it one
afterwards.
after the other so that we don't overrun. So
Okay.
for this question now, I know the good answer to it, yeah, but I'll let Deji speak so that. But Mr. Deji, I'm giving you 1 minute or 1 minute. Thank you. Deji, do you want to speak to this? He's in the other room. Bolu, do you want to take this?
This is such a
Take this.
Did I,
But
let
only
me
1
let me
minute for real.
did I shake a table?
No, it's not a table
let me
shaking. We know the simple
let me
answer.
respond the way my boss will
Also,
respond.
exactly. That's the trick. That's the joke around it actually. So Bolu, go ahead quickly.
The simple answer is you want to scatter my composition. That okay. I think that I will check with DJ because I don't know how. Yeah, the simple answer normally is always yes, because we give a grace period for people that want to change because they feel like, okay, maybe this one actually works for me. But it depends on the role that you're switching to, because there are some roles, there's a cap on them, like Scrum Masters. Now we are not taking more Scrum Masters. So it depends on the role you are switching from to. So if there's still space in that particular role, the simple answer is yes. But if there's no more longer space in that role, I mean, we'll have to figure it out with DJ. I hope I answered your question.
All right, that's fine. Thanks. And then the question I had for you was that yesterday when we're doing the session on Scrum Mastering, I think I learned that there was a certification exam that could be done, by anybody that wants to practice. Is there a similar certification for a business analyst?
Yeah, for every role has certification. I mean, there are always several certifications. Yeah, you okay, this is how I always respond to certification questions. Yeah, there's BCS, there's IBB, IIBA, there's CPAB. There are so many. It depends on what you are gunning for. But here's the thing, it doesn't stop you from getting a job. So without the certification, you can still get a job, but it's good for you to have the certification because you never know when it will put you at an advantage, if that makes sense.
All right. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
So
thank
please,
you.
guys, take the main thing Bolu said, because some people will just take it and say, oh, you don't need the certification for job, which is very true. You don't need the certification for you to get your job, but it sets you apart from other people. So lots of companies in general like to brag of the caliber of people they have in their companies. Funny enough, me that I don't have certificate, I might be more competent than you that has a certificate. But however, I cannot show any reason that I can't show anything to say I've gone through this BA professional exams, but you can show it. So they trust you better than me. I don't know if you get the jiggy. So it's always good for you to do it, yeah, but it's not compulsory. A lot of us got our roles without all those certifications, but it sets you apart. Things are getting tighter by the day, so it really sets you apart. So try and go for it, yeah. So thank you so much, Bolu. Thank you, Farouk, for your questions. So Bolu, I was hoping Bolu would be nice to you, so she became nice with that first question. The truth is, you can actually change, but the roles are limited. So you can imagine everybody swinging. And what happens again is some people will just fall in love with the intro and lose themselves. Then later, they will not realize that, that their initial role is actually their best fit. So even before you make that decision that you want to swap your roles, think properly, digest it very well, think properly and digest it. Be sure that yes, you really want to change your role. Then you can actually go forward, ask admin, and then we'll see what we can do. Yeah, if it is possible for us to do the swap. But if it's not possible, we'll let you know. Because you can imagine if we have 3 Scrum Masters in a team, and because they fell in love with Bolu today now, the 3 of them say they want to move to BA, and the 3, so who will be the Scrum Master for their team? That's just the real truth. Yeah, so it's okay. Rose, you want to go again? Any other person with questions, please quickly raise your hand so that we can wrap up. Rose, shoot, 30 seconds. Thank you. Rose, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. You've muted back. You are unmuted now, so speak. Okay, any other questions? Rose, if you
There are
can
2 Roses, Rose A and Rose O. I don't know.
Rose A,
Rose O, I've
Rose
already asked my question.
Rose Abere's hands are up, yeah? And she just put the hands up because I already put it down before. Rose Abere. Rose O, do you have a question?
No, I'm good now. Thanks.
Alrighty, thank you. Jamie, quickly shoot. Rose, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. So Rose, quickly type. We need to wrap up. I don't want us to really over exceed. Yeah, Jamie.
Okay, thank you again. Allow me. Just following up on Farouk's question. I was wondering, with what we learn here, if we decide to apply for, let's say, a Scrum role, and or maybe we like someone like me now who came into the intern program as a BA, and somehow I find that okay, even though I finished the internship with a BA learning, can I apply for a Scrum role with what I've learned on this journey? Is that possible?
What do you mean Scrum role? Scrum Master role?
Master role, sorry.
The truth is, you can apply for anything, yeah? But will you really know the rudiments of being a Scrum Master? The only thing some people do for that is probably register for advanced and try and know the intricacies of what Scrum Masters do. I think a lot of people trivialize the role of a Scrum Master. You have to actually go through the role for you to be able to survive, because those of us that even went through it, by the time we got to organizations, we had to be, trying our best to get to where we are here. It's not as frivolous as you think that, oh, anybody can just do it. No, you also need to go through the training to be sure that it is doable and all that for you to have understanding. They will call some things for you that if you do not have the knowledge of being a Scrum Master, you might not be able to do it. But however, the truth is you can. That's the truth. You can if you're sure you know everything that you need to know about being a Scrum Master. But I don't know if Bolu has another opinion on that or something. Bolu, your hands are up if you want to.
Yes, my hand is up because this is very interesting, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure I told you, but there was an intern that finished maybe 2 sets ago. He when he was with us, he did a training. He trained as a QA, and then recently he was applying for a BA role, and I felt like, wow, that's some really bold move. Um, like Olaomi said, you can apply for anything. Yeah, I was able to prep him on some things, but the thing is, I see that he has done some extra working. So here's the thing. You are put in a development team. If you know that you are interested, the truth is you can't do 2 roles at a time in this internship because it's quite intense. But here's the trick. You befriend somebody in the other role. If you know that this is what you want to do at the end of the day, so you have an holistic knowledge. It's not as easy to just say because there are so many moving parts, but befriend somebody and suck their brain, like try to understand what they do. So you have an idea, and you have an understanding. I've seen people that finish from the internship do a particular role, but because they had a good rapport with maybe their teammate that was taking them through on the side and saying, oh, oh, Rose, this burn down chart, how do you guys do it? Oh, how do you guys configure this? Oh, that's interesting. How do you, like, these are things that you can do on the side. I mean, you can apply for anything, but it's good for you to have good knowledge of whatever it is that you're applying for. If you understand what I mean, if you know that you can, it will take you some extra work to do to be able to do that. So you have to put in the work. You have to be ready to put in the work and yeah, go out there and do your thing.
Okay, thank you. That means we are thinking as one. So really, it takes a lot of work. Don't trivialize any role. Don't think of it.
So allow me, I have a message for you in the chat. I just wanted to tell you.
Okay, let me see.
It's not very serious.
It's easy. Who is this? Research. Okay. Oh, story. Can you imagine? Now I understand what you're saying. Because I said they fell in love with you, all of them want to be BA. You guys are on your own, no? No, really, guys, you need to sit back, make your own decision. And it's always better to stick through with what you think you really can do. But if you are sure you want to make a switch, we don't want the one that the whole 40 or 50 or something of you say, yeah, I want to switch, you want to switch. No, no. Because we've already, done some arrangements for you guys already in your role. You're already in teams. That means you're going to be starting all over again, your onboarding and all. But don't get me wrong, if you really are convinced that you want to make a change, please shout out immediately. Not the one somebody will shout out next week, or it has to be this weekend, right? It's not the one somebody will come in another 2 weeks' time now and say you want to change. No, please. Thank you. Any other questions? Let's call it a day. We've exceeded the time by 10 minutes. Anything from anyone? Anything going? 5 seconds rule.
Yeah,
Right.
sorry. One last thing before
Okay.
we finally call it a night. To everyone that wants to switch their roles, please research about the current role that you have chosen. One. Number two, ensure that you are very, very convinced, because sometimes it looks another person will come and present tomorrow and you fall in love. That's how good every tutor
Oh, Bolu.
is.
Oh, you'd have held yourself, because if APM comes, all of them will say they want to be APM.
Every single tutor of Blue Sky sounds very convincing that their role is the best. So I just want to tell you that another person will come and present tomorrow and you feel like, okay, that's the direction I need to go. Just be 100% sure, because in the next 5 days, I know that it can be a lot to take in, a lot of information, a lot of excitement. But trust me, there's so much layers and layers and layers under each and every single role. And it will be so unfair to you to jump ship very quickly and think and say, oh my God, I made a mistake. So please take your time, research about your current role, look at it and see if it's not exciting for you. Fine, change your role. But if you think that, okay, this is something I can take to the very end, please stick with it. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Really, thank you so much, Bolu, tonight. Nike, thank you for a fantastic journey tonight. Bolu, thank you for making all of us want to become BAs. But you see, no matter what you do, I can never want to be a BA. Just take it. There's nothing you can do for that one.
Last week, you still told me that you want to become a BA. I mean,
Oh, no, that was a fluke.
nonsense
That was a
that.
fluke. All right, guys, let's call it a night. Please, if you have questions, feel free to ask us. We'll be sharing this intro tonight, and then you can look through it. Oh my God.